Hey everyone. Today I have a pretty fun match between my good friend Jung. I am playing Love Live Sunshine. He's playing the 8 standby Data Live build. He does run JP, so he's actually in JP. This deck is banned, or the good build of it is banned. But I did request him to build it so I can get a bit of practice for it since Data Live is coming into EN Weiss and EN doesn't have a ban list, so this will be a legal deck. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so um, if I remember, yeah, I go first since I did win a off-screen die roll here. I we were also talking about some other stuff as well, such as how excited we are to see all the Data Live mirror matches and play the Data Live mirror matches. I'm also getting Data Live for EN along with my other friend, but I want to build four choice four standby since I like the plus in Kotori. Um, yeah, I think I was also doing some off-screen camera configuration, so I'm just asking Jung to make sure the positions look good. Yeah, I mull three here. Obviously, don't need any of those threes. Maybe the ruby, but the 1-0 yellow ruby, but it's fine. Anyways, draw clock climax, draw two. So I was pretty lucky, and I was able to get out my runner 0-0 Yoshiko, mill runner Yoshiko. Pretty nice. The mill can come in and help you. You know, sometimes get cards into the waiting room from your deck, which might be desirable. Sometimes you want to run away and then you mill a climax and you can't and then you cry. Been on both receiving ends, but yeah, I actually run around 16, I think, level zeros. I have runner Yoshiko along with the anti-runner uh, Yoshiko is like 3,500 power. Opponent or that card's opponent cannot move away from the position. So those are my two kind of win zero cards. I have seen some Sunshine builds that actually try and I guess not too greedy, but I've seen Sunshine builds that run like lower level zeros, maybe like 13 to 12 to 14 ish. Not I guess, that big of a fan. I already feel like Love Live Sunshine's opening game is uh, kind of bad. It's if you don't grab like your runner, it does feel kind of miserable to play, and I don't really want to try and jeopardize level zero already more than I currently have. Um, I think I don't really run that many utility level zeros either. I think my only option is like I think I run like a drop search ruby and a pay two on play yo to salvage a card. Um, yeah, so here I milled my Hanamaru Brainstorm, so I'm gonna run to center so I don't lose the trade. That Kotori apparently can give power, so I don't want to lose my runner Yoshiko. Jung here was able to trigger standby, so he got out his 1-1 Kurumi and put it in center. He actually didn't expect me to take all that damage, so now that I am at 0-6, I can clock myself and become level 1. Yeah, yeah, level 1, once you hit level 1, that's a pretty big power spike in Weiss. And Jung definitely was not expecting that. Otherwise, he would have probably, stood by his 1-1 Kurumi in the back row. Because now that I'm level 1, I have access to my my level 1 Climax combo, which also happens to be a level 1 reverser. So that Kurumi is in big trouble if I grab out my 1-0 Chicas that can Climax combo. Yeah, things aren't looking too good for Jung. Data Live wants to try and maintain tempo, but he's kind of in a rough start. I'm guessing he wanted to try and hit one first and then get access to his 2/2 tokas. That definitely would have been pretty painful. But yeah, as you can see here, I am able to grab a copy of my level 1 Chica, and I send my 3/2 Yo into stock from my stock soul, and I will Frontier, trigger Door to salvage a card. But yeah, that level 1 Chica is a pretty disgusting combo. Level 1 combo on reverse salvage, and Chica herself is a level 1 reverser. So unless your opponent, can run away or isn't immortal, like a 1/1 can't be reversed by cost zeros, or they can bounce the hand on front. Yeah, you're pretty much guaranteed to get it off. Not even if they're bigger, I still get the reverse. So yeah, very disgusting. I love it so much. Yeah, and then Jung wasn't really too. Yeah, he just had a pretty rough start. He's gonna be losing board here, and that's gonna be kind of painful. He also has to, encore the Kurumi by paying one if he so chooses, or he loses it, and then losing it is gonna be kind of a shame. He stood by a 1/1 and then it's already gone. So he probably wants to encore it, and he does choose to encore it here. So good choice. Makes sense. That Kurumi is a pretty big card on board. So normally Kurumi probably wouldn't be in too much trouble, but I do run level 1 reversers, so it's a good answer to Data Live's early level 1 game. And then, yeah, I'm in a pretty good spot at the moment. I was able to, during my turn, I was able to grab a copy of my Hanamaru Brainstorm, grab a copy of my Akatsuki Ruby. That Ruby is definitely going to be an important card for me. A good way to help mill out my deck, and I do run the Stock Soul and then Door as my 2 climaxes. Not really that many good ways to grab climaxes, and I actually have very weak abilities at level 1 to actually grab my Chicas. Hanamaru Brainstorm can only salvage yellow music characters, so I can't target the Chica. So Ruby is like a really good alternative level 1 game plan. Then Jung here is just trying to set up his waiting room, and he chooses to brainstorm here, and he doesn't get anything. I don't know if you noticed, but I did accidentally reveal my hand. I do have a stock soul in my hand, climax. Jung told me he was too occupied with his play to actually notice, so we'll just trust that he did not see that card. And he's gonna top check with his Toka. But yeah, he's sadly he's in a pretty rough spot. When you're 8 standby, just any 8 standby in general, your power definitely comes from like having access to powerful cards that are kind of tough to beat. Jung here is kind of definitely in a rough spot. He isn't even able to get off 3 attacks here. He had to stand by, and he's gonna stand by his 2/2 Toka here into the center. He's definitely in a rough spot. His hand count is can't quite tell, but definitely not going in his favor. That Yeah, if you're losing level 1 as 8 standby deck, then that's definitely rough. Day Live is no exception. You want to try and win board as hard as possible from level 1 to level 2. That's kind of what standby decks want to do. They can get out powerful cards early, and if they can't do that, they're just gonna have a bad time. I don't really know what else to say. But he did get his Tutu Toka out onto the field, and I can't really answer that. And then that Tutu Toka, definitely a core card in 8 standby Data Live. Whenever that Tutu Toka's opponent reverse, you can look up to the top 2 cards of your deck, rearrange it any way you want, depending on when you attacked with the Tutu Toka, or depending on if the opponent crashed into it, you can opt to kind of get the triggers you want. You can fix your trigger count for your remaining 2 attackers. You can set up for a free cancel. You can set up to draw into your climax. Yeah, just overall, really, really good level 2 as a standby target. Definitely one of the reasons why Day Live is 8 standby is going to be a really strong build, and why I probably got banned in JP. If you're able to consistently get that scry off, you can kind of just fix your deck. You get so much kind of top deck fixing with Data Live. Help improve consistency on like canceling damage, or helping you get climaxes to stand by even more of your strong cards. Yeah, and then over here, I'm just trying to go through my deck. Right now, I brainstormed with Hanamaru. I grabbed another Hanamaru, and then now I'm just playing the rubies to look at up to top 4. So I actually make a mistake here. If I remember correctly, yeah, you're supposed to grab a music character. So that means that when I grab the character, I actually have to reveal the card to my opponent. Definitely a misplay on my part here. Thank God this is just friendlies. That probably could have been a DQ right there if it was a tournament. But yeah, I also did it twice too. So whoops. But yeah, rest assured, I did indeed grab 2 characters. just trust me. But yeah, so I'm definitely trying to go through my entire deck here. I opt to do another brainstorm, and I missed this one, sadly. Yeah, I think I had one more card. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had one more card in deck, so I was trying to get that card out, that climax, or sorry, not one card left in deck, one climax left in deck. I was trying to get it out. Try and, maybe loop another ruby into my hand, the Akatsuki ruby. And then I did kind of, lose a bit of hand here. I really wanted to get off another Chica combo here. Stock Soul, send Yo to, or the 3-2 Yo into stock. And then I'm going to be swinging here. Guaranteed to reverse, since it's a level 1 reverser, and then I can salvage a character. Yeah, this combo is honestly just, yeah, it's a very good combo. Don't know what much to say. I mean, it's, I guess the weak part of the combo is that, you have to reverse, but if your opponent is a level 1, you're probably gonna get the reverse off. And then, yeah, I'm just deciding on what I want to get here. I opt to get my 2-1 Rico, so that's one of the pieces you will need for level 2. Your early play card, the 3-2 Chica, you need to have that copy of Rico in your clock, so I want to be hitting level 2 and then clocking that Rico, so I can early play 3-2 Chica, and then when I early play 3-2 Chica, I can pay 1 and then early play the 3-2 Yo, that copy of the Yo in my level, to yeah, you get 2 early plays out at level 2, and they're both pretty big. They're both base 10k. Chica gets 2k if that early play Yo is on board. So yeah, Sunshine's definitely gets a huge power spike at level 2. And then yeah, but you know, Data Live is Data Live. Their deck is all about denying opportunity. You can, you know, Shido the early plays, and then there's not much else. There's not much that I could really do if Jung chose to do that. But yeah, Jung is not really having a good time right now. He did get the scry because I was forced to kind of crash in to the Toko with the Ruby, so there's that. Yeah, and then chooses to Brainstorm. That Brainstorm was also really good too. You can... I think that's the Brainstorm. Yeah, the Brainstorm is the one that can bounce back to hand and boost power, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that Brainstorm is really good with Climax, not Climax, 8 Standby, because you make a card bigger and you bounce her to hand, and now you can you can now have your standby target be in the back row, which is usually what you want to do when you're picking standby targets. And then Jung does opt to get that 1k Yoshino Punch. That's early play killer, so he is preparing. He's also well aware that I might hit level 2 here, so definitely preparing for me hitting level 2 as well. Makes sense. Love Life Sunshine, definitely a very scary level 2 if you don't have an answer to those big early plays. And then to make matters even better, you can put a 0/0 Kanon in the back that can keep one of your characters alive. So unless you have a way to just maybe bottom deck or clock bomb or I don't know, bounce her back to hand. Love Live Sunshine level 2 board will be really good at keeping their early plays alive and then also maintaining board that way. And then here I refresh. That Yoshiko runner has been really, really nice to me. It was able to survive quite a number of turns, and then I had 1 card left in deck. I used the Yoshiko runner effect to mill and then run, and I was able to refresh with 7 climaxes. Pretty good refresh. And so yeah, I kind of made a gamble, I guess, when I was doing my turn and I grabbed the Rico. So I'm kind of assuming here that I'm gonna hit level 2, which means that I take at least 3 damage here. If I don't hit level 2, I'm gonna have some bricks in my hand because that Rico will be useless. I'm pretty sure I had a Chica in hand too, which she'll also be useless because I can't play her. But yeah, I did hit level 2, so that's good. I can now get my power spike. And then I canceled the other 2 attacks. So yeah, definitely very nice here. And then the Yoshiko survives another turn. Oh, what a great card. Yeah, and then here I clocked the Rico, so now I can early play my Chica. Come on, where is it? Okay, I guess. Oh yeah, I remember here. So I actually kind of forgot the order of my stock. So what I was thinking was, shoot, where was the position of the Yo? I don't remember where she was in my stock. So I'm just trying to brainstorm here, get out some stock, just to be safe. just to be extra safe, because yeah. So I opt to grab my Ruby Punch 3k backup, and then when I use the backup, the opponent mills the number of characters I have on board. The mill effect is it could be nice, I guess. Usually though, I kind of don't really like the mill effect. I guess it might be nice to. No, not really. I guess there are moments where it's nice to have, but yeah, here I play the early play Chica, and then I paid one, and I was actually able to get the Yo. So I actually paid the extra one from the Chica was the Yo, so I did count correctly. It was a good thing I did the brainstorm first. Otherwise, I would have paid one and then done nothing, because I did not have a copy of the 3-2 Yo in my waiting room at the time. So yeah, that was a correct play by me. It's pretty rare, but I do sometimes make some good moves. And then that I always love having 2 copies of Rico going to level 2, like, you know, one to clock and then one to actually use. I think that Rico 2-1 is honestly really just a really good card. Probably one of the better 2-1 cards. It's a level assist, and then you can tap her, pay 1, reveal, and then salvage a card that's equal to or lower than the revealed card's level. And what's also really nice is that this Rico combos very well with the early play Yo. The 3-2 Yo effect that I have on my right slot, on attack reveal, and then the opponent burns for the level of the card revealed. So Rico can help you kind of look at the top card of your deck, and then you know exactly what the top card of it is first. So then, judging by that information, you can opt to, you know, attack with Yo first or attack with her second. Since I revealed a level 3, I will obviously be attacking with her first, so I can get off that nice burn 3, and then I'm siding. I believe I opt to side here everywhere because I know Jung has the early play killer punch. I'm gonna respect that punch, so I will probably be siding everywhere. And then I'm siding into that 1-1 origami, so with a soul, that's gonna be siding for 2. So first attack side, and then I ping for 3 because it is a level 3. And then yeah, that forces Jung to refresh. And then after the refresh and the damage, I'll be able to get 2 damage, because you know, you side, you lose damage equal to the opponent's level. So yeah, that Rico 2-1, definitely a very good card. And unfortunately, Jung here, he refreshed into a climax, which is kind of painful, and then he eats the 2. I choose to side the Chica here. It doesn't really matter, but I was lucky and I triggered my 2 soul climax, so I was siding for 2 here, which was very nice. And then side for 1 here, no soul, opponent 0, and then yeah. So usually at this phase of the game, this is where Jung usually goes, alright, here's my little Shido, and then send your Yoda waiting, replace it with a card lower. And then I, you know, just start to have a bad time here. But unfortunately, this game hasn't really been going well for him. I'm actually not sure how much hand he has at the moment. It looks like he has like 4 cards, so I mean, the fact that he sided was pretty nice, but Milo to Shido does require you to tap 1 unit. So if he does choose to use it, that means that he either doesn't get his brainstorm or he has to overplay. And you know, overplaying is gonna be detrimental for him since he already doesn't have that many cards in hand. And then yeah, so he opts to just attack here. And then that Yoshiko runner is finally gone. For a level 0, she survived for pretty long. We're already at level 2 and she never left my board yet. Definitely probably my MVP card for this match. Yeah, and then imagine playing Data Live and then, being forced to crash your cards into the opponent. How sad is that? If only all games went this way. It'd be nice. But yeah, normally I'm the one doing the crashing. Jung's the one doing the board control, I should say. Yeah, I mean, Jung's already level 3. He's definitely in a rough spot. As a standby deck, your power kind of drops definitely at level 3. Your opponent now has if your opponent is ahead in level, then you're prone to kind of just losing here. So yeah, Jung is definitely in a rough spot at the moment. He wants to be the one ahead, and normally he is the one ahead because I'm constantly losing hand and resources to get off attacks and stuff. But this time it's him. How the tables have turned, indeed. And then over here, I'm kind of making I actually remember what happened here. So I make a really stupid decision. So I'm actually unsure about what I want to do here because my Rico revealed a Chica, a level 1 Chica, right? So I was like, okay, I want to keep that card on top. So I'm gonna salvage a Yo, since Yo's effect is pay 2 to salvage a card. That way I don't change the order of my deck. But then the problem is that I actually thought that the Kurumi in Jung's back row was the 3/2 Kurumi. So I was also thinking like, actually, I'm out like a lot of climaxes. Maybe I want to refresh here. So in the end, I think I opt to refresh, but it was just kind of a dumb play. It was because I was indecisive. I could have just grabbed the Hanamaru Brainstorm with the Rico. I didn't have to grab Yo and then pay 2 to actually grab Hanamaru and then use Hanamaru to Brainstorm. I lose out on 3 stock and 2 hand to maybe 1 hand. But yeah, I mean, regardless, wasted a lot of resources to something that I could have used less resources for. So yeah, misplay on my part here. Definitely. And then I guess another misplay is I don't know if it would have made a difference, but I technically could have sent the Kanon to waiting room instead of the Yo. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered. They were gonna die next turn anyways. And then with the Kanon, I could have at the very least, sent the Chica back to the bottom of my deck, and then that way, I would have known the last card of my deck, and I could have used that to my advantage. Maybe after attacking twice, Yo will be able to trigger the last card of my deck, and then that could definitely be a yeah. I think that's what happened. Yeah. Second misplay. I should have sent Kanon to waiting room. get the scry, and then the Hanamaru actually would have triggered the brainstorm. So yeah, that was a misplay on my part. I could have actually gotten a burn one with the Yo because I would have known that the bottom card of my deck, because we already knew it was the Chica, right? So I could have, sent that card to bottom. And then with Hanamaru Brainstorm, I would have hit the climax, and then on my attacks, I swing with Yo last because I know the last card of my deck. So yeah, that was another misplay on my end. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I do have like what 5 stock out one climax at the moment since we know one went to stock, so it's not the worst. But yeah, to be honest, yeah. Besides those two misplays, I think everything else was okay. I did definitely want to refresh here because Jung could have played the 3/2 Kurumi, and then that Kurumi has stock swap, decompression, or uh, burn 3 on attack. So if I didn't refresh with only, and then I had only one climax left in my deck, Jung could have utilized the probably like the decompression to by like first trying to ping that climax out, and then he uses Kurumi decompression, and then I'm just gonna eat a lot of damage because I have no climaxes left in deck to cancel. So yeah, the refresh I believe was the right choice. And then if he chooses to stock swap, he doesn't really gain much out of it, in my opinion. But yeah, in the end, he doesn't even use his Kurumi finisher just because I don't know. He probably wants to save it for next turn. He knows that he probably can't kill me this turn, so there's no point in trying to finish the game here. Maybe hold on to the Kurumi finishers and then use multiple at once to help and ensure that the game ends. Yeah. How sad. He had to play the standby, and he didn't even have the Kurumi finisher. It's definitely not how you want to see. Not the state you want to be in as data life. Yeah, we're just doing power calculations here. I believe right now they tie, which is yeah, Jung wants to try and kill my Yo, makes sense. And then he knows that I don't have Kana in the back anymore, so Yo cannot be revived if she dies here. So trying to get rid of that Yo, definitely the biggest threat to him right now. With Yo on board, Chica is big, and then Yo also has the really strong ability to on attack reveal and then burn. But I do play my 3k punch here. I was contemplating whether or not to play it, but in the end I felt like I should play it. Um, yeah, that mill 5 is kind of was actually not the worst. I was able to ping his 2 Shido events and a standby climax, so he won't be able to, that's one less possible standby he gets. Imagine if he did like 2 standbys and then he just got like like another 2 Kurumi finishers along with the one in his back row. That would be pretty scary. So yeah, that Milfi was actually really good. And then he does trigger a standby here, so probably want to revive, or not revive, but want to standby over the reverse Kotori. Yeah, with Kurumi finisher, makes sense. Yeah, I mean, might as well. Eat that. And I use my Kanon effect. So right now, my thought process is that, you know, I'm probably going to die next turn. I'm already at 3-4, you know? So I want to try and end the game here. There's like, I did have a Ruby in my hand, the 3-2 Ruby healer. But the problem is that, like, healing 1 isn't really going to do much for me. Sure, I'll be at 3-3, but pinging for 4 is still very, very doable to close out a game. So, and then Jung is at 3-1 right now, so I need 6 damage. He does have 1 card left in deck, so I need 5 damage. Definitely. So, my goal here is to end the game. I probably won't be surviving next turn. And then if I do survive next turn, the game is definitely going to be over for him. But yeah, there's a high chance that I actually lose here. So I wanted to close out the game. And then the Rico did reveal my 1-0 Ruby, which is really good for me actually, because I can use the Yo, and then I can ping 1 damage. Jung has 1 card left in deck, and then we both know that card is clean. So I'm going to be getting 1 free damage, he's going to refresh, and then suddenly I only need 4 damage to kill him, which is way more doable than 6 damage. And then, sorry about the lighting, but that is indeed my Door 1K1 climax. I run a non-climax level 3, or not. Yeah, I only run the Yo as, I guess, my main finisher, since she's so strong, with a couple of Musashi Yoshiko's, and then the healer Ruby. Yeah, at this point, with the climax, all of these attacks will most likely be lethal. I'm going to be swimming at a minimum for 3, and then any 1 soul trigger will be lethal. Sadly, I triggered a double soul there, so I'm swinging for 5, which is kind of unfortunate, but it happens. And then Jung is choosing whether or not he wants to punch here. Oh, that Kurumi is a punch. Okay. does have uniform Toka, so he's able to look at top and then keep on top or to bottom. Yeah, that that probably saved him. We'll just say that might have just saved him. But yeah, Data Live, very powerful deck manipulation when you get your reverses. Very strong. So yeah, I guess that wouldn't have mattered even if he didn't get the reverse scry to send to bottom. I would have canceled on 4. But yeah, the Musashi sadly milled a climax. So just like that, I just went through 2 climaxes. So I'm currently out 3 at the moment. 4 actually, since I paid out 1. So I have 4 more climaxes left in my deck. It is possible for me to survive, but at this point I was thinking like it was pretty bleak, to be honest. It really depends on what Jung had, but if he had access to his Kurumi finisher by playing the climax, I definitely would have just lost, in my opinion. Yeah, Jung is kind of just thinking about what he wants to do. So I did get my Kanon effect off when she was sent to waiting. I used her to revive my Chica because Chica tied with the Kurumi. And I looked at top and opt to keep on top, so probably have a good idea of what that top card is. Jung also has a good idea of what that top card is, so yeah. No, we're doing power checks right now. Jung opts to heal here, makes sense. Wants to make sure I need more damage to kill him. But also at this point, all he really needs is just level 3 cards. And then that way, he fronts, and then every attack has potential to be lethal because if he triggers Soul. But the thing is, because I used my Kanon's effect and then I chose to keep the card I looked at on the top, Jung knows that the top card of my deck is a climax, or he highly suspects that it's a climax, which makes sense because why would I not send a card to bottom if the top card of my deck is a climax? It's a free cancel. So Jung is opting to play the Kotori here, and then that makes a lot of sense because he doesn't really care about how much damage the first attack gets. He just needs to he just needs to attack to ping off that first climax on the top of my deck. So there's no reason to play another level 3 if he doesn't need to. Looks like he's a bit indecisive on what he wants to do. I believe right now, Jung was telling me that currently at the moment, he wants to try and set up for next turn. So he opts to brainstorm, and then he hits 1, so he can search for a card. And then he told me that, he was trying to set up for next turn. So he wants to try and have a way to grab the climax that combos with his Kurumi finisher. But yeah, if Jung had like the climax and then another, no, he doesn't even need another. Just the climax of his finisher. This game would definitely have been probably been over. Cause he would have potential three attacks of lethal, and then I would have to cancel everything on it. Like after that initial attack, I would have three more climaxes in my hand or in my deck. I would need to have canceled everything. But if he had two copies of the Kurumi finisher, I actually don't know how much hand Jung has at the moment. But yeah, he opts to grab origami, so he definitely was thinking like, yeah, in the event that I survive, next turn I'll have options. I'll be able to, probably get the climax that I want, and then I'll be able to finish you. But I think both of us were pretty sure that the game was either going to be over this turn or the next turn. So yeah, I think he was better off just grabbing like, I don't know. I'm honestly not sure. I guess it's fine. Like, he also helps set up his waiting room in case he's able to refresh. He'll have more climaxes on refresh. But yeah, top card was climax. So now the real battle is gonna be here. And this is not lethal, so this won't kill me, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But yeah, and then he triggers standby too, so he's overswinging here. I got kind of worried here, so kind of just praying here. Unfortunately, I was not able to cancel, and yeah, the last couple climbs were in the middle of my deck. But yeah, that was Sunshine versus Daylight. I will say that normally I feel like the game shouldn't be this close. Usually, Data Life has way more advantage. The fact that I was able to keep my early plays on board the entire time is quite amazing.